Center. And a good morning to you. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show. We're going to begin the hour talking about food for the holidays and how it impacts you. We're going to do that with someone who is well versed in it. And she is a registered dietitian and all that good stuff with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. We say good morning to Shanti Appello. Shanti, good morning.
Good morning to you, Art.
It's been a while. How you been?
I've been really well. It is cold outside, though.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because of that, does that change what our body needs in terms of nutrition? Does the outside weather have an impact?
Yeah, a little bit, because when we think about it, it's cold outside. Our routines kind of naturally shift. Maybe we are indoors more often. Maybe we're a little bit less active. And a lot of us tend to crave more comfort foods. And so all these seasonal changes, like less sunshine, right, can affect our energy levels, our hydration, our immune health, and even our mood. So there are a few things that I recommend people just keep in mind.
So I have to ask this because, at the same time that we have all this weather outside, we've been through Thanksgiving. We're about to go through Christmas. Typically, there are times when we, let's say, indulge ourselves to a greater degree than we normally would. This is a tough time of year for us, isn't it, food-wise?
It is. It can be. I think a lot of people put a lot of stress on themselves. They maybe are afraid of weight gain, and so there's this kind of indulgence restriction cycle that happens to a lot of people that can lead to a lot of guilt. And so my recommendation is always to allow yourself to enjoy the things that you really do love around this time. But of course, moderation can be difficult for people. So one of the things to think about is just taking it slow and practicing mindfulness as much as we can. So that means, sitting down, taking our time to chew and eat and really appreciate everything that comes along with the food. So maybe if your favorite thing is mashed potatoes, but you love heavy cream and butter in them, really taking each bite and appreciating everything that's in there, the flavors, the textures, and then recognizing too that it takes about 20 minutes for our brain to recognize that it's full, because our stomach and our brain are communicating, and it takes a little bit to get there. Yeah. So recognizing that so we don't overeat.
Let me ask about something vital to our existence, water. And the reason I ask, it would seem to me, as the uninformed and uneducated on the subject, that in the summer, because of the heat, we sweat a lot and we evaporate out a lot. Not so much in the winter. Do we need as much water intake in the winter as we do in the summer?
We don't need as much, but it's so important still to keep in mind hydration. That's because we don't feel as thirsty when it's cold outside. Indoor heating, too, it can be dehydrating because it lowers the humidity in the air, and I know a lot of us have that running. And then think about all the stuff that we're wearing, right? We're wearing heavy sweaters. Maybe we're wearing coats, and it can really make us underestimate how much we're sweating. And we know that even mild dehydration can affect our mood and concentration. So it's really important just to keep those water bottles full, keeping in mind hydration, just as we do in the summer. And if you're not a big water drinker and you're like, man, that's going to be too cold for me to drink, warm herbal teas can be good too. Think your lemon and ginger just to get that extra hydration in.
And how much is the right amount is the next question.
Yeah, it varies based on how active you are, how old you are. People who are a little bit older tend to not feel thirst as much either. So that's something to keep in mind. But for women, it's about 11 cups a day for total fluids. That includes from your food. And for men, it's about 15 cups. So when it comes to water, that's a little bit less, but we just want to make sure that we're even having hydrating foods like soup and things like that.
Let's talk about some other fluids for a minute because they've been in the news. Let's talk about soda pop. And the reason I ask is all the manufacturers are now manufacturing zero this, zero that. At what point can you take pop without worrying about it, and how much is too much?
Yeah, so there's two sides of this coin. There is the side of having sugary drinks, right? The regular soda that has a lot of sugar. And we know that that's not good for our health, right? Not only does it provide calories, but we know that sugar, too much of it, can contribute to a risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, even some cancers. And then there's this other side of the coin where we're like, well, let's nix all the calories all together. Let's have zero of everything. Now, these drinks are still not great for our teeth. They don't offer us any nutrients while they still have 0 calories. They're not giving us anything. And also, this sense of having 0 calories can kind of create this false perception in our mind that these really sweet foods and drinks are associated with lower calories. And so I think it just becomes a thing where you decide what your preference is. I think everything in moderation, right? But if you can make the switch, one of the best things you can do if you like the fizz is to drink sparkling water. I've got one right in front of me here. I'm on this new kick of Tropical Fruit by Waterloo. This one, I'm not paid by this brand, but it just tastes like sour Skittles without the sweetness, and I'm really into it.
Yeah. So along those lines, since soda pop is made with water like everything else, I mean, is there any hydration value to it?
It does provide towards our total fluids, right? Towards that 11.5 cups for women and 15.5 cups for men. But oftentimes they can have a component of caffeine, which doesn't necessarily mean it dehydrates you, but it doesn't provide as much hydration because it is a diuretic. So, I'd rather people just drink water. That's what our body craves. That's what our body needs. But that's not to say that fluid doesn't contribute to what we need.
So let's look at different things and see if it affects our nutrition, our nutrients in terms of water and things of that nature. Let's take iced tea, sweetened and unsweetened.
Yeah, I think one of the best things you can do if you love the sweetness of sweet tea is kind of getting used to less sweet flavors. But your question as to whether this contributes to hydration or not, tea has less caffeine than coffee does, so it certainly is not going to contribute to that negative value of the hydration that you're getting. Again, it's not something that dehydrates you per se. It does contribute to your total fluids. Water is better, but the iced tea is definitely going to give you a little bit more hydration than perhaps coffee.
Yet we're told coffee's good for us.
I think there's such thing as coffee that we enjoy, in moderation, but then there's too much coffee too. And the guidelines say no more than 4 cups of caffeine in a day. And so that's about 4 cups of coffee or 8 cups of tea.
I mean, is there any reason that the general public is so confused when it comes to food? Let's ponder that question. I'll come back to it. I got to take a break. We are talking to Shanti Appello from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan about food. We're also going to talk a little bit about how it affects your mood here at the holidays. Let me ask how your sleep was, because there's another important component of life. We're asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, and theoretically you should spend a third of your life there, you need quality sleep. And you can get a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. Now, you can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured your mattress is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but you can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. They feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home, so, if you're not going to be home, they'll tell you within an hour when it's going to be there. And if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom at 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them online at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 1935.
This message comes from
Seeds, almonds, and a few dark chocolate chips to put on your yogurt.
Okay, I'll pick dark chocolate. That's good. I have a feeling,
Good
though.
choice.
I have a feeling, though, there's two sides to this mood question. And here's what I mean by that. I'm always happiest eating the foods I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Those may not traditionally be the foods that are best for me. There's two different
Right.
mood questions here. Food that I like makes me happy, puts me in a good mood. Food that's nutritional for me may not, because I don't like it as much.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like a long and short game here, right? So we get that kind of boost in our mood from having things that really make us feel good, like the sugar and the fat, like that quick, like little serotonin boost, right? But then there's the more long-term game where if we're feeding our body these foods, it's more likely to support these mood pathways. So I think we can do a little bit of both, right? Making sure that we're getting all these nutrients that we know are good for us, and then allowing ourselves to have the things that we really do love as well. I am someone who has ice cream every single night, and that doesn't mean that it's
I could do that.
It's not. It doesn't mean that there's a ton of ice cream on my plate. I have about 100 calories worth of this Greek yogurt ice cream that has real sugar in them, and I just love the flavor. I think that they're the perfect creaminess, and it's something that really works for me because it's something to look forward to. I love a little bit of sweetness. I don't love the taste of artificial sweetener personally. And so this is something that really works well for me because it satisfies my cravings, but I'm not going to keep going back for more because I am satisfied.
It's interesting you bring up yogurt. I was going to ask about it because yogurt is not yogurt is not yogurt. By that I mean not all yogurts are created equally, are they?
They're not. And this is also a good point to our mood conversation because yogurt supports our gut health when they have these probiotics in them, right? Yogurt is something that has probiotics. So are things like kimchi. There's, miso, things like that. And so the reason that's really important for our mood is that there's this connection between our gut and our brain. And we are learning more about it on the research side of things. But we understand that treating our gut well can also influence treating our mood well. And so the more we can do to support our gut, the better. Fiber takes part of that too. But to go back to your question about yogurt here, yes, there are yogurts that don't have any probiotics. And so whenever we're choosing the best yogurt for us that has this, we want to see something that says live and active cultures on the label. LAC is maybe something you'll see. This means that we have added probiotics after it's been pasteurized, because anytime we add heat to yogurt, to milk, which is a really important process for making it safe to eat, we are also killing bacteria that was part of making that yogurt to begin with. So we want to see it added on after the fact.
And does the amount of sugar in the yogurt impact any of that?
The sugar is not going to impact the amount of probiotics that are present, but typically there are some kids' yogurts that maybe are a little bit sweeter that don't have probiotics added to them. So that's something, just, again, to go back to label reading. However, we do want to think about the sugar. I see a lot of those really decadent options out there have so much sugar that you're like, wow, like this is half as what's in a candy bar, right? I am of the belief that if you want to add a little bit of something good to a healthy food to encourage you to eat it, for example, vegetables, if a little bit of ranch is going to help you eat your vegetables, I'm not going to tell you not to use it, right? Because it's better that you're eating those vegetables with the ranch than not eating those vegetables at all. And I think this kind of goes hand in hand with the yogurt conversation. If you think it tastes good that way, have it, but just be mindful of the sugar. And something that I really love to do at my own house is there's this one lemon yogurt I am obsessed with, but it has so much sugar to the fact that I don't even think it tastes good that it's so sweet. So what I do is I keep a large container of Greek yogurt that's plain, and then I buy the little individual lemon flavored yogurts, and then I mix the two. I do
Yeah.
mostly the unsweetened kind, and then add a few spoons of the lemon, and it's just great.
I started to get hooked on yogurt, but I've noticed a huge difference in two brands, particularly. I'll name them. I started out eating Chobani, and it was okay, but somebody handed me a Yoplait one day, and I ate that, and that was entirely different and suitable to my taste buds. But I suspect if I read the labels, they would not be the same in content.
I think it definitely comes down to a little bit of label reading, right? Like, oh, does this one have more saturated fat because it's a dairy product? And we know that saturated fat is associated when we consume too much of it with poor heart health for some people, higher cholesterol levels, that kind of thing. But I think it takes a little bit of experimenting to see what you like, what's going to encourage you to have something healthy for breakfast. Some people really like the Icelandic type yogurt because it's thicker and creamier. So, yeah, I like that you played around a little bit and you found what you like.
Still playing. Still playing. Let's kind of end toward the wrap here. And I want to talk just for a minute about type 2 diabetes because it is so prevalent in this country. Are we making any headway in improving the stats?
It is predicted to increase in numbers. And a big part of that, too, is obviously our diet and our exercise and just our habits overall, right? Like, I think we have to make strides to make smaller habits to get to this good place. Something about type 2 diabetes, too, is that it's an iceberg if we think of that versus pre-diabetes. We see the tip of the iceberg being people who are diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, but then there's the bottom that we don't see as much because people don't often experience symptoms and they don't know that they have it. That's the pre-diabetes of it all. And that's really where a lot of people can take helpful steps to making changes to their habits. So just encouragement here that as we head into the New Year's, if you haven't done your checkup with your doctor yet, definitely do so. But I think there's a lot that we can talk about in terms of prevention.
Well, Shanti, as always, it's fun chatting with you and learning about all the things I'm doing wrong. But
it's so nice chatting with you too, Art. And, don't be so hard on yourself. I think you don't have to overhaul our whole diet and get rid of all the things that we love, right?
Yeah, I kid about it, but I'm 82 years old and my numbers look good. So I'm knock on wood, let's go that way. And listen, I wish you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season.
Likewise. Happy holidays.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Shanti Appello, a registered dietitian with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. She is also a diabetic educator and always fun to chat with her. We're going to take a break and we will have open phones for the remainder of the hour. Again, 989-752-6111 for the rest of the hour.
This week, it's a year-end.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones, 989-752-6111. But I start with a friend who has been very, very helpful with our Lights Before Christmas, providing all the little pastries and donuts and things that we have out there on Wednesday evenings. And the last one is this Wednesday. She also has Miles Market, Sips 476. She's a realtor. She has Marina. The list goes on and on and on. She's also written a book, which we will hear about in the very near future. And she is Linda Shepard. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing with all this wonderful weather?
I'm a Michigander. I'm driving around in my truck, just happy this morning. I'm going to show houses, and I don't know. It's just nice.
It's
Good
interesting.
day to be alive.
Is the winter time a good time to sell and buy a house?
Yeah, it does slow down right now because everybody's shopping and getting ready. Nobody's really looking for things right at this minute. But the minute Christmas is over, New Year's Eve is over, the selling season starts again. January is a great time to sell and buy. So, yeah.
And how is the market? I mean, do we have sufficient homes out there?
We still don't have enough listings. But, yeah, it's really hard for buyers still to find a house because the listings, there's such a shortage of listings. And it's been this way for 3 years now. So.
And does that mean if you put your house up for sale, it doesn't last very long?
No. If you price it right, it's out the door. Yeah. You don't even have time to think. So be prepared that you're going to get an offer and that you're going to have to move in February. But that's okay.
So let's talk about the marina just for a minute. Linda, several years ago, purchased the Sanford Marina. 2 weeks later, there was no water in front of the marina because the dams broke.
Yes. I call it the non-lake. Hey, let's go to the non-lake for the weekend.
Non-lake, yeah. So how's that project coming? Because you've been working on it, and you're pretty much ready for the water, aren't you?
We are. We're working on it. The deck, the docks, the whole planning stage is done. We're ready to go in January. So, yeah, it's really exciting. It's going to be a great place. And I'm going to put up a camera so people can watch the construction going on and watch the lake fill.
Because that's the thing. It's 2026. We're supposed to be the lake come back, right?
Yeah, they said, I just was on a four-lake task force call, and the minute that they get the dam done, which is going to be in the next couple of weeks, it will be blocked off, and then the Tabassee River will start backing up and filling the lake. So, it's going to be like watching paint dry. It's not going to be exciting, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I did have a weird thought this morning. So I heard that for our big 250 celebration that they're coming out with 5 different quarters.
Oh, really?
I'm a little sad about that, and only because I was in 5th grade in 1976. Yes, let's age ourselves this morning. And I have been collecting bicentennial quarters my whole life. And so that year in our bicentennial, they only printed 1 quarter with the little drummer boy on the back and the 2 dates on the front. I have been collecting those, so I think having 5 coins is hard to collect.
Well, I think I'm not sure. I haven't seen the story yet, but I would be willing to bet it's for the 5 branches of service. I would.
And it's fine. It's just funny that that's my thought this morning as I'm driving around Saginaw.
Well, it'll just give you more to collect. I mean,
and I've been collecting. I have wine bottles full of bicentennial quarters, and I can't pass them up. And my lovely son, my middle child, the favorite, he always brings me a bundle for Christmas. So.
Oh wow, you'll need a new wine bottle.
So those are my thoughts of the day.
Well, have safe travels. You're going up to a birthday party now in Toronto, so enjoy that.
I am my grandfather. Yes, I'm on my way out of the United States, going across the border. So I haven't done it in a long time, so I'm excited.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you when you get back, and have a safe trip and all that good stuff.
All right. Have a great day, y'all.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye now. Linda Shepard, Miles Market, SIPS 476 down at M46 and M47 in where Pinnacle Realty is, in the Point, if you will. Thank you for joining us. We got open phones. If you have something you want to chat about real quick, 989-752-6111. I pulled an interesting story about America and are we ready for a woman president? And Nancy Pelosi actually chimed in on it. We'll get to that.
The next generation of...
All right. Back with you. And on the phone we have Dwayne in Reese. Dwayne, good morning to you.
Good morning. I called you a couple of weeks ago for I wanted the number from Amos O'Neill or Mr. Beerline, but you said I can't do that. I got to go with a... You did drop a number off on the phone, but I wasn't quite ready for it. Next thing you know, Art's giving me a number, and I'm 5 feet away from my paper and all that. So it was some senator. You can give me that. I'm trying to get hold of the Social Security office. I've been trying to get a paper from them guys for the last 4 weeks. I've called 5 times in 4 weeks.
Okay, well let me start with this. The state representatives aren't going to help you.
I know you told me that.
Yeah, you got to get to the federal representative.
Yeah, you put that number on the phone, but you only said it once, and I wasn't prepared.
All right, let me give you a number.
I do not remember the name of the guy you gave me either.
Well, I'm going to give you a different one. I'm going to give you Kristen McDonald Rivets, and she can direct you, or her staff can direct you to the right one if they can't help. Just a minute here. Okay, let's see here. All right. Now, let me find the contact page here. Oh, come on. All right. Now, I'll give you first. Her Saginaw office is in, well, you live where? You're in Reese?
Yes.
I'll give you her Saginaw Township District office. She has Saginaw, she has Flint, she has D.C. The Saginaw Township is 989 898 6060.
Okay.
Now, I'll give you another one just to go along with it. This is the Washington, D.C. office, 202.
202. Okay.
225.
225.
3611.
Okay.
So try those because they're federal.
I call every week. So John, it's going out today or going out tomorrow. Well, I'm still waiting. Tomorrow hasn't come here yet for the last 4 weeks.
Well, then give them a call.
Okay. Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah to you. Thank you.
Thanks. Merry Christmas to you. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. That opens the lines, 989-752-6111. Pulled an article off USA Today. The headline was, "Exclusive, Is America Ready for a Woman President? Nancy Pelosi's Surprising Take." And basically, she thinks it is, but she doesn't think it's going to happen in her lifetime. Now, she's changed, and the reason she came to that conclusion were the losses of Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris to Donald Trump. She had enough trouble when she broke through as the first female speaker about 2 decades ago. And as she put it, there's not a glass ceiling, it's a marble ceiling. She thought that certainly American people are far ahead of the Congress in terms of their acceptance or their enthusiasm for a woman to be president of the United States. But she's tempered that optimism, at least her timetable, for seeing a woman in the Oval Office. I have said, I don't care whether it's a man or a woman. My concern is their qualification. Will they do what's right for the country? That should be the consideration. Not whether it's a man, not whether it's a woman. None of that. It just seems to me that the qualification should be based on their knowledge, their history, their proposals, their philosophy. I don't care whether it's a woman or not. I could accept a woman very easily. There are a number of them who have run in recent times that I could have supported. And I have said many, many times, while I don't know that I could support her, if Michelle Obama had decided to run in this last election against Donald Trump, I think she would have won. But that's just a guess on my part, because obviously she chose not to. She doesn't want to be in that position. But I was pretty convinced that if she had chosen to, she could have been president. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, obviously, and that's fine. But I'm not judging it on whether she would or would not be a good president or any of that. I'm judging it on what I see as a potential popular vote for her. So, I mean, the country is ready. The country is ready. We have many, many women